Hello, everybody. Welcome to my little corner of the world here on YouTube. And just to introduce myself, I am a father, a son, and a brother. Like a lot of you, I followed the path that I thought I was supposed to follow. Um, and now, at 52, I found myself at another inflection point. I've spent a lot of years in talk therapy, and it helped me, but at some point, I really stopped moving forward, and there was something that felt unfinished, incomplete, and I wanted something a little bit more, a little bit different. And somewhere along the way, I was introduced to a new path, a different one. I got involved in the ethogenic space and became fascinated with it, and that changed a lot of things for me. And during this path, I was lucky to have found um, a mentor and a person to guide me through the early days. And then I went deeper and I became certified in integration work, which is a little bit of talk therapy after journeys. And then I became certified as a practitioner all the way up to the Colorado protocol. I did not do the licensure in protocol in Colorado for many reasons that we can get to in another video, but I am certified to that level. Um, and most recently, I became a breathwork facilitator, which pairs really well with some of this work. And I'm still learning, so I'm continuing some education that one day I'll talk more about. But what really pulled me into this work and fascinated me was the science behind it and what actually is happening, how some of these compounds and things are working within us in the brain. And I had a deep feeling that if you don't understand some of this mechanics and what's going on inside, we won't be able to fully embody the total experience. And there's also things about safety. There's also things about ethics that are really involved in all these kinds of things. So that's kind of where I found my place in this world. And again, yeah, if you don't embody the medicines and really feel what's happening, understand a lot of protocols such as dosing and best practices, you really can't embody the full set. So I've also studied a lot of different things in terms of learning how to embody some of these compounds. And I don't specialize in everything. I have my few one or two things that I've kind of settled on, and that's kind of how I do my work. I am not a licensed therapist, and I want to make that clear. Like many of you, I've been on a long journey, a long path, and I've been fortunate enough to work with a lot of people who have figured out how to heal themselves in different ways, along with talk therapy. And that's where I will be able to assist in your journeys. But mostly, what I found in the work is we all have the answers within ourselves. You don't need me to tell you, but the dimension of being witnessed in the healing process is the more meaningful part. So we can't just think about getting better or figure out how to get better on our own. And that's kind of my philosophy. I'm not a very high volume practitioner. Most of my stuff is one-on-one. I do very small group activities, and I think that the real big changes happens in the small, private, intimate settings when somebody can really, really say and express themselves in a safe environment, in a safe place. And those kind of magic windows are very rare and unique. And that's where I really like to be in with this work. So when I started this goal and when I started this work, it was pretty overwhelming. And how do I fit in? And how can I do my part in this big world? And it was just easier to just say, well, if I can just help two people at a time, the rippling out effect will, be my part to the world. So my philosophy is help two people at a time or a small group of people. And that's how I keep my focus and my intention. And now I've kind of accomplished that goal several times actually. And I find that I like to work this way. And that's how I want to continue with small groups of people at a time. And it's an ever evolving process. So not anyone is ever complete, but you know, good steps forwards are always meaningful. I'm also big on education. I'm continually educating myself on the science and best practices and new and ever-changing world. This ethogenic world is evolving really quickly, and to keep up with it is almost like keeping up with AI. There's always somebody doing new and exciting things. And there's also always new and exciting best practices and techniques to contribute to the group and the overall community, right? And I'm actually, my next video is going to be talking about ethics because what I'm seeing out there is very concerning. And best practices and ethical concerns are definitely a top of my mind for me. So that's probably going to be my next video. And yeah, I hope to see you in the ether. If I can be of service to you, that would be great. But if I cannot, I have a big network of people who I can refer you to that may be able to serve you better. So if you're out there and want to talk about anything or have any questions, please free to reach out. And I'll see you in the next video, and I'll see you in the ether.